Nobody becomes holy by some kind of act. Holiness is a function of God's inhabitation in a person or in a place or within the jurisdictions of his presence. Wherever God's presence is, that's where holiness is. Holiness cannot be achieved by faith. Holiness cannot be achieved by mere religious activities. Holiness is an atmosphere that carries the residence of God's presence. Where God is present is holy. The jurisdiction of God's presence is declared holy. God tabernacles in holiness. So if God shows up in this service, everything here becomes holy. So holiness is a gift of God's presence. So to be holy is to cultivate the manifest presence of the Lord. When you fight the good fight of faith and study scriptures to realize the principles that cultivate the manifest presence of the Lord, that's what brings about the holiness of God. It is not an act. Nobody becomes holy by some kind of act. But righteousness prepares an individual to host the holiness of God. So the gift of righteousness is the processing duration or the processing principles that when an individual subjects himself under the purgings and prunings of righteousness, he begins to produce the fruits of righteousness, which qualifies that person to have an encounter with the constant, ongoing revealing of his presence. And in that presence of the Lord, that person is enveloped, engulfed, clothed in the glory and the presence of the Lord, and that's where holiness is established.